Well, good Monday morning to you. Welcome to our Monday morning live edition of the Doctor's Nutrition Show. I'm your host, Jim Tabor, along with Doctors Jim Fox. Welcome back, sir.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir.
And Dr. Janine Fox of Doctor's Nutrition, located on Cal-Lorraine Road in Gulfport, just south of Pass Road. We do this every Monday morning. It is a live call-in show in which you can call in and ask questions regarding our topic of the morning. And then the doctors will, of course, answer those questions. And we also talk about other things as well. Sometimes we get different questions that are called in, so feel free to call in because that's what the show's all about, leading a healthier lifestyle. Our phone lines are 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. March is Colon Cancer Awareness Month, and which is the topic we're going to be talking about today, is colon cancer.
Mm-hmm. We're going to be talking about colon health, really, and colon cancer prevention.
Right.
Because we don't, once it's there, that's not our area. Our area is to prevent problems and to do things that are healthy beforehand. Don't wait until you get something.
Right.
Because colon cancer is one of those things that I have people come in the store all the time, even young people, as everybody's been hearing on the news, it's getting younger and younger, that they say, oh, I was perfectly healthy and I had no issues. So we hear that a lot, and then all of a sudden they're diagnosed with colon cancer. You don't want to wait until you have a problem. I tell people every day, don't just assume you're healthy. You got to be proactive. In today's world of toxic food and toxic environment, and we got to do things daily to prevent things from happening, and don't wait until it does.
Are there any early signs that you may have colon cancer?
Well, I mean,
oh, sure. There's all sorts of early signs. You know, changes in bowel habits. You know, somebody that's been a little sluggish and all of a sudden they're into the diarrhea, things like that.
Or the other way around.
Or other way around. Any changes in the bowel habits is something to be concerned about.
Changes in shape of the bowel. Like if it starts getting flat as opposed to how it used to be round. I mean, that could be a thing too. Any blood in the stool, I mean,
coloration.
Definitely. Anything like that changes. Bloating, pain in the abdomen that doesn't go away or is I mean, it comes and goes, and but it's there all the time. There's a lot of things like just fatigue.
Yeah.
And actually, one of the things we see a lot on lab work is anemias. If we see somebody start getting anemic and there's not a reason for it, you got to start looking. You got to start looking for a lot of things, not just that. But I'm just saying that is one of the signs, is because basically there is bleeding.
Yeah.
Right.
So especially when I see a man get anemic, that ain't normal. Now, women during childbearing years, yes, that's very common to get anemic. So don't think just because you're anemic, you have colon cancer. But when you see a man get anemic for no reason.
Can a woman be anemic going through menopause?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you got to also think something's going, what's going on there. So when we do our lab work, we always check that, but we always check your iron and your B12 and your folate and all that too. If it's a B12 deficiency, well, then you fix that and see if the anemia if it helps. You can be iron deficient and be something like a colon cancer because you are losing blood.
Right.
So you just have to look at everything. I mean, like I said, but prevention is the key. Don't wait until you have it.
Is it hereditary?
It can't, I mean, it definitely runs in families, but we're seeing so many people that have never had it anywhere in their family. So just because it's not in your family does not mean you don't have to worry about it.
There's definitely an increase. And like I say, the non-DNA related things, which would be hereditary. So yeah, it's kind of spreading out. And that's one of the scary things about it. You know what, I don't know, it's probably like 6 months ago or longer, we talked about that study that came out of California where they showed 109 different chemicals in the food supply. And 42, I think it was, or 44, something like that, they didn't even have a name for those chemicals.
I was going to ask you, I remember you mentioning that several
now,
of them, they didn't even have a name.
If that doesn't scare the living hell out of you, I don't know what does. I'm serious. I mean, flat out. That should scare anybody. If you're consuming food and you think, oh, I'm doing really good, probably not. I mean, the packaged processed foods, and like I say, when you got 109 different chemicals in your food supply, that's not food, it's chemicals.
Yeah.
Think about that.
And to me, you could do as good as you can do. And you're still going to get some.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the thing
Right.
is you can eat organic, you can eat with not packaged processed, and still, just from the rainwater that has chemicals in it that actually feeds the plants that are
Right.
organic, you're still going to get some.
You know,
so you get less, way less. And so there are things you can do, but again, we live in a world of chemicals.
Yeah, you know, years ago, we used to talk about acid rain. That was the big thing. Oh, you know, the world's going to end because of acid rain, right? Remember that?
I remember that.
And somehow that went away. Nowadays, what we're looking at is glyphosate rain. Glyphosate is a chemical in Roundup
End up
that
in
kills
Roundup. They've actually
And-
found it everywhere.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah.
not only that, what they're finding is a lot of these ag chemicals are sprayed, and think about the west part of the world, our western part of our country. That's where a lot of this stuff, the farm belt, so to speak, that's where a lot of this stuff is sprayed. And it's picked up in the air, gets in the atmosphere, gets in the clouds. Next thing you know, we got rain on us. We're getting contaminants that people in California sprayed and things like that. So it's, you know, there's no getting away from it. That's what she's talking about.
Like
you
I
know,
said, you're going to get it. You want to be as good as you can. And
Yes.
you want to eat organic and you want to eat not packaged processed food because it is way worse.
Way.
But you still have to do some of the things nutritionally and some of the supplements to actually help with detoxification.
Yeah.
Because detoxification really is one of the big keys for any cancer prevention.
Yeah.
Not that it'll stop every cancer, not saying that, because there's not probably one thing anywhere that will do that, but it will help. And so you got to look at detoxification. And when you look at the first thing from detoxification, especially for the colon, is elimination.
Yeah.
If you are not going to the bathroom regularly, you
Daily.
increases your risk greatly. They know that. There's been years ago it showed increased risk for breast cancer with not going to the bathroom every day. You definitely increase colon cancer if you're not going to the bathroom every day. So
Unfortunately, I don't have that issue, but
yeah. Well, good.
lot of
yeah.
people do, though.
A lot of people
It's
do.
amazing.
Sometimes it
Amazing.
amazes me when people come in and how long they go in between. It's like, how do you do that? You know. So that is one thing that out there, if you're listening, you have to whatever it takes, and there's different things that you can do for it. You got to get to go to the bathroom regularly. If you don't eliminate, you don't detoxify.
Now, what do you consider regularly?
Every day.
Daily.
Daily.
Daily, if not multiple times a day.
If not at least
Depending
twice
on
a
the
day.
amount of food a person takes in. Right.
Right. And so you really want to go every day. And water is a big part of that. And clean water, I should say. You want it filtered because, again, don't want all the chemicals. But one thing I see in a lot of people, they don't drink enough water. And so you got to hydrate so that you do eliminate properly. And so there's so much, we always say if you're not eliminating properly, you want to look at digestive enzymes, you want to look at probiotics. We have a really good one for constipation. It's 100 billion in each pill. And like I said, you've got to eliminate. That's one of the number one things for prevention is you got to go to the bathroom regularly.
Okay. It's 8 minutes after 9 o'clock. Our phone lines are open at 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. We're talking about how to keep your colon nice and healthy. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. And welcome back. It's 10 minutes after 9 o'clock. It's our Monday morning live edition of the Doctor's Nutrition Show. Our phone lines are open at 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. We're talking about colon cancer health, and it is Colon Cancer Awareness Month. And make sure you're giving you tips on how to keep that colon nice and healthy. What other nutrients or supplements are there that are good for a healthy colon?
One of the biggest things, and it is, I guess you'd classify it as a nutrient, it's the probiotics. I mean, that's where you start. We got to have the right kind of probiotics. Just like she mentioned a minute ago, if you've got a person that's chronically constipated, big red flag. So the first thing you do is start with a type of probiotic that's going to help elimination. That's number one thing. Fibers are great. And then, the list goes on. Green tea is probably one of the best, most researched things going for all types of cancers, not just colon cancer, but a lot of different cancers. And you get a lot of other health benefits from it too. And that's something that you can take in a pill form, which is the easy way to do it. And you can drink green tea too, but at the same time, and a lot of people do that, and I think it's a great idea, but at the same time, to get enough of something called ECGC, the compound in there that's actually good for prevention, you have to take it in a supplement
Right, because you'd
form.
have to drink tea, all
Like
constant. Like,
probably 50 cups a day
Yeah.
or something. Ain't nobody gonna do that.
so it does have a high
I'd really
amount.
be going to the bathroom there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, our green tea max has a high amount of the active ingredient in it, which is definitely, the research is out there for
Yeah.
any type of cancer prevention. And another big one for cancer prevention that you see is curcumins, which a lot of people have heard, the turmeric, and everybody's heard of it for inflammation, but all disease starts with inflammation. So the curcumins have a lot of research for all cancers as well, but particularly colon cancer too. Now, the B vitamins, actually, especially the folate, has been shown to be very beneficial. Even garlic. Garlic has a lot of research on prevention. And even some of your, like they say, broccoli, like the sprouts, like the broccoli, little broccolis.
Little broccoli.
Florets.
It has something called sulforaphane, which has definitely also been shown beneficial. There are so many, vitamin D, we talk about that every show for just about everything. Vitamin D definitely is linked with cancer prevention of all kinds, and yes, with colon cancer. So when we talk about getting your D levels checked, that does play a role in overall health. The B12 plays a role in overall health. I mean, all your nutrients play a role. And then when you look at, like I mentioned before, you don't want constipation. Aloe is very beneficial just for the colon to actually help elimination and just keep you regular as well. So there's a lot of things, and we have aloe in liquid and we have aloe in pills. So there's a lot of things you can do. Now, resveratrol's had some research. I mean, you start looking, a lot of the antioxidants are definitely things that have beneficial. We even have a product called polyresveratrol, which has the resveratrol, quercetin, and quercetin has a lot of good research on it too. It has the resveratrol, quercetin, curcumins, and the green tea extract.
Right.
So it actually has all of them together in one thing. So I have a lot of people that actually do that. But you do want some sort of antioxidants for prevention. Everyone does.
How much of a role does the diet play in having a
Huge.
good, healthy colon?
Huge.
Go back to that 109 different chemicals that
Yeah.
40 something of them.
42 of them they can't.
Yeah, they can't even
tell you
name
who
them.
they
Okay,
was.
Well, I think-
that's scary. I
I
mean, if
think,
you,
they know that young colon cancer is on the rise. They know that. I think
Well, I know they tell you to start once you reach the age of 50.
When they're
Start
moving
going
it
up.
down.
it's went down.
Has it gone down?
It's went
down
Start
to
getting a
45.
colonoscopy.
like
Yeah.
45, and they're moving it down
They're
and down.
moving it down because you're seeing 30-year-olds.
And they're even starting to suggest to do like an occult blood test every
Yeah.
year. In other words, that's just where you take a sample of stool and they see if there's any blood in there.
Right.
And if there is,
Yeah, and it
it's
looks for
confirmed.
blood that's not visible to the eye.
Right.
And we can do that as well.
I was going to say, y'all do that.
We do
Oh,
that
yeah,
as
oh,
well.
yeah, we do
So,
that, yeah.
and it's a little kit you send home and you get your sample there. Yeah, that one you bring home and you do your little sample. But anyway, definitely, I mean, you want to start even doing that, especially if you have gut issues, especially if you have
Right.
any symptoms.
Right.
And you don't want to wait until those symptoms get worse just because you're in your 30s and you say, oh, well, I'm too young for that. That is, the 30s and 40s are the group that's on the rise. And I think they showed 2% per year increase in that age group.
Which, if you get 2% per year, it doesn't take a long time to you've built up some pretty good numbers.
Well, I remember a long time ago that women,
Yeah.
they dealt with breast cancer, but it seemed like it was like once they got more mature. But even now, when they're a lot younger.
Well, I always say, you mentioned diet, how important is diet? I think people that are younger have eaten junk way more longer than their adult parents.
Yeah.
I mean, we're seeing problems that we never saw in kids, teenagers, and even 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
We're seeing pre-diabetes. We're seeing that so much younger also. Everything you're starting to see younger because of the diet. People used to, even when I grew up, we didn't eat out a lot. I mean, I don't know that if everybody else did, but we didn't eat out every meal. We just didn't. For one, my parents couldn't afford it. They had 4 kids and they had and so, we didn't eat out a lot. And now the kids grow up that way. They grow up on fast food. And I think growing up on fast food definitely is catching up with the health issues in America.
Well, what are some of the things that you can do to maintain a healthy colon besides diet?
Well, I mean, proper elimination.
Right.
Okay. Paying attention. I think that's one of the big things. Just pay attention for change. If you see a change that okay, this is kind of strange, pursue that. You need to look for that. And then start doing some things, look around your family. If there's a family history of this stuff, then definitely you want to do some things that are preventative. Start maybe taking something like the green tea extract.
And probiotics.
And probiotics.
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't do anything else, probiotics and that green tea extract are probably the big things. And throw in some fish oil.
Yep.
Fish oil,
Fish oil has so much research on it too.
Yeah.
And even a multi. I always say, fish oil and a multivitamin and probiotics, everybody out there should be taking it. I mean, that's kind of like everybody.
I definitely do that every day.
Every day.
And so it doesn't hurt, like I said, to add the green tea or quercetin. A lot of people have been taking quercetin since COVID, and so that's another one that's also good. It's another antioxidant.
Great.
So there's a lot of things out there you can do proactive. And also, keeping up activity and staying active so that your colon does move. You get immobile, sometimes it starts getting immobile. So you want to keep moving. And the water, like I said before, you got to drink water.
A lot of water.
Yep.
A lot of water.
And you can actually, lemon has been shown to have a lot of benefits to the colon too. So lemon water is really good.
I was going to say, so put some lemon in your
But
water.
put fresh
There you
lemon.
go.
Don't go buy that fake stuff.
In
Put
the
real
little
lemon.
in the little yellow plastic.
Yeah, I like real stuff. I like getting the lemon and squeezing it.
Cut it and squeeze it.
Cut it and
go.
squeeze it.
All right. It's 17 after 9 o'clock, 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. Our phone lines are open to you. We're going to take our final break, and we'll be back with more and this week's special. And welcome back. 20 minutes after 9 o'clock here on this Monday morning. And let's go ahead and look at what our special is for the week.
Yeah, the green tea extract that we talked about. This one, it's called Green Tea Max, and the reason we call it Max is it's potent. This is like drinking about 50 or 60 cups of green tea a day.
You'll go to the bathroom.
Well, yeah, don't know about that, but you're getting the antioxidants from a lot of tea.
Right, it's a really high of the ECGC that he talked about. It's a really high percentage of it in Green Tea Max. Now, there are other benefits to green tea. I mean, actually, green tea tends to help metabolism. It actually, a great antioxidant. It's just great for overall health.
Yeah, one of the biggies, and this is for the cardiac thing, it helps reduce oxidized LDL cholesterol.
Right.
And oxidized LDL cholesterol is a bad boy.
Yeah, when LDL, which is a type of cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol, everybody calls it, if it's oxidized, it is so much worse. Even if you have normal levels of LDL, if it's all oxidized, it's still a risk factor for cardiovascular disease. And green tea is one of the things that's been really shown to actually lower that as well. So that is something that can be benefit. And then the Green Tea Max does not have caffeine.
Right.
So it is a decaffeinated Green Tea Max so that people don't have the effects of caffeine from taking it.
Right.
So it is one that people out there can take even if they have high blood pressure, even if they have stuff like that.
So it's in a pill. It's not.
It is in a pill.
Capsule. It's capsule.
And usually 1 or 2 a day is enough. It's potent, so it's actually, it's a good, it's easy to do. You don't have to take 6 pills or 8 pills to be beneficial, so that's the good thing. Some things you do. I mean, we do. We have some things you do have to take a higher dose.
That's true.
So that's one that everybody can take, and it would be very, very beneficial. And if you're wanting prevention, which we always say is the key, don't wait until you get sick.
Right.
And don't think I'm healthy because I don't have anything wrong, because there's healthy people every day.
And unfortunately,
they get diagnosed with something wrong.
The diet that us Southerners have, for the most part, the way we like to eat, I'm sure over a period of time, that's going to cause you some issues.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily good. Yeah. So if we could keep that down to a minimum, that wogood be better.
Yeah.
Fried chicken once a month.
We always recommend eating better first.
Right.
Yeah.
We always say you got to have a better diet and lower sugar. Sugar is an inflammatory. I mean, it's inflammatory food. I guess you'd call it a food.
It is food.
It's inflammatory, and like we said, all disease starts with inflammation. So you don't want a bunch of sugar, and that's what people get huge amounts of is sugar in everything.
Yeah, you look at the statistics. I think it was back, 75 years ago or so. Average American ate consumed about 5 pounds of sugar per year over a year's period. Now it's 100 and something, 125, 130. Oh yeah, it's pushing up close to 150 pounds.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of sugar. Think about it. You could go to the grocery store, put 150 pounds of sugar, 5-pound bags, in your buggy. You probably won't even be able to push the doggone thing, okay? So, think about that. You're getting, if you eat the average SAD, standard American diet, and it is sad, And if you do the SAD diet, you are getting somewhere between 100 to 150 pounds of sugar per year, per person.
Wow.
Think about that.
And the diet that everybody has said is probably one of the more beneficial diets is the Mediterranean diet.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And Mediterranean diet is not hard to do. It doesn't eliminate everything.
Yeah.
It actually has a lot of good fats. It has a lot of olive oil. It has a lot of fresh food and fish.
Is there an Asian
and
diet?
nuts.
Because look at, I mean, those people there, they it's like they live a long time. And
they tend to eat real
Well,
food
it
too.
depends on which country you're talking about. Not
Yeah,
all
true.
Asian diets go together. I'm serious.
Yeah,
We
that's
see a
true.
lot of diabetics.
That's true.
A lot.
Yeah, we do. But,
Because of all the rice. It is a high carbohydrate diet, and it's the Japanese are the ones that tend to have the longest lifespan, and they eat something called natto, which we talk about all the
yeah,
time.
natto advantage.
Well, the nattokinase, which is the enzyme, that is actually one of the things that's very beneficial in the Japanese diet.
and you know, some of the others like Guam, you know, where they eat a lot of the sweet potatoes, and they do eat a lot of the root vegetables, but there's the different kinds like the purple ones and so on. You've seen those little dark
Yeah,
purple
yeah.
ones. They taste good. They're kind of weird looking. You know, you're used to a kind of a yellowish
reddish
looking.
red.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you see something that's like purple, but that purple indicates it's got a lot of antioxidants
Yep.
in it. Those colors.
Eat a
tend to
lot of
go-
color.
Eat a lot of color. Even in our diet here, just eat a lot of color. Go to, you know, if you go to the shop to the grocery store and you pick up your fruits and vegetables, look for a lot of different colors. Don't just do a green bell pepper. Get some of those reds.
The red and yellows, I love
yeah,
those.
oh, they're
I love
great.
those.
Yeah, they're a great taste.
I make a Mediterranean pasta with shrimp in it that instead of using green bell peppers,
Yeah.
I prefer to use the yellow and the red.
Like I said, use
I think
more
it's
color.
pretty.
Yeah.
Use more color. It ain't even about the prettiness. It's just about different colors have different antioxidants in it.
Right.
And so, but that is a lot of the nutrients is the color. So you want things that are colorful, and you don't
Right.
want the same. You don't want all greens. I mean, greens are good, but you need other color too.
Right.
Yep.
And you know, in America, we tend to have this thing that eat your fruits and vegetables. Turn it around. Eat your vegetables and some fruit. Okay, and in the fruit, eat it. Don't drink it.
Don't grind it.
And don't grind it. If, for instance, a lot of people take, I drink my orange juice. Not the same thing. If you want orange, get an orange, peel it, take some of that white stuff. That's where the bioflavonoids are.
Right.
So those are the good things.
And
So
it has the fiber, which is so
Yeah.
important for colon cancer prevention.
Yeah.
So when you start looking, fiber is in, when you start juicing all this, you lose a lot of the fiber. Now there's some juicers that keep the fiber in, but majority of them do not.
Yeah.
So definitely.
All right. We got a question. Any long-lasting effects of eating oatmeal every day?
Depends on what type of oatmeal, for one.
That's just got the key.
All this quick stuff, do not eat it.
Yeah. If it's
It is
instant, if it says instant, forget it.
If it is not the old-fashioned steel-cut oats,
Right.
don't do it. And even then, it's high in carbohydrates, but at least that does have some fiber in it.
It does have a good fiber. It has
Right.
soluble fiber.
Right.
And the other thing to do, and I know because I've tried oatmeal 1,000 times. It doesn't taste good without a lot of sugar on it, and most people
Yeah.
wind up
Most
with
people
a lot
load
of-
it down, yeah.
Well, they load it down. So you know that's the downside of it.
Yeah.
Cinnamon's okay to put on it,
Yeah.
but
How about
not
honey?
the sugar.
Huh?
The fresh honey.
Honey's still sugar, but honey has some benefits. But you
Better.
don't.
Yeah.
But if somebody's diabetic, I don't recommend a lot of honey. But if honey is a more beneficial, because it does have a lot of beneficial things to it.
Yeah.
It's even been shown to actually help colon health a little bit too.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're about out of time for this morning. Great to have you back. Glad to see that you're doing much
Nice
better
to be
now.
back.
Good. Dr. Bull, we thank him for the couple of weeks he came in here. Did a great job. Next week is Open Line Mondays, the first Monday of April.
Yeah.
So we will be
Already.
talking about. Yeah, I know. We're talking about anything that you want to talk about when it comes to your health. So if you would, you can go online go online at doctorsnutrition.com. Excuse me. Also to their Facebook page and find a lot of different information. Anyway, hope you have yourself a wonderful week, and we'll see you next Monday.
For more information on highlighting your business and services on Healthy Living South Mississippi, contact Jim Tabor at 896-1313.